Welcome to the SN classes. So today let us deal with the NCERT class 7 science chapter 2, that is nutrition in animals. First let us go through the introduction. Here the animals need food to obtain the energy, growth and the repair their body. Right, as usually animals, plants and human beings, all of the living organisms needs energy, growth, repair and all. Right, so for these things the main thing is we have to get the food. Right, so unlike the plants, the animals cannot make their own food, right? So here the plants can prepare their own food with a process called as photosynthesis. But in the same way, animals cannot prepare their own foods. Actually, it depends on the other organisms. It can be on the animal organisms or else plant organisms. The process by which the animals take in the food and utilize it is called as nutrition. The process where it is a process of cycle where the animals take the food into their body and use them, it is called as nutrition. Okay, so there are different modes of nutrition in the animals. Actually in the chapter 1 there is a different modes of nutrition in plants. I have already done that class. You can go through it in the playlist. It is already added. Okay, so here the modes of nutrition in the animals. Let us see the modes of nutrition in animals. Here animals obtain the food in the different ways leading to the different modes of nutrition. So first mode of nutrition is herbivores. Herb means it is a plant. Orus means the eating animal actually. So herbivores means the animal that eats the plants. So the examples is cow and the deer. You can also take the other examples like goat, sheep, etc. And the second mode of nutrition is carnivores. Carnivores nothing but the animal that eat on other animals. The animals which eats the other flesh animals, that is called as carnivores. The best example is lion and the tiger. The third type is omnivorous. So omnivorous where the animals eat both the plants and the animals. The best example for the omnivorous is humans and the bears. Okay, so next let us see the steps of animal nutrition. So here the process of nutrition in animals involve 5 main steps. In that the first step is ingestion. So here in the ingestion, the process of taking in the food. Ingestion actually occurs in the mouth of the human being. So starting the ingestion is taken place in the mouth, where the intaking of the food with the help of the mouth is called as ingestion. Okay, so here different animals have the different mode of ingestion. So here each animal or else including the human being, the different animal takes the intake of the food, means ingestion in a different mode, right? So let us see some of the mode of ingestion. Okay, so first is in the human. The human actually uses his or her hand for the ingestion purpose, hand and the mouth for the ingestion of food into his body. And the second is frog. Frog uses its tongue for the ingestion of the food. And the next example is butterfly. Actually this butterfly sucks the nectar from the flowers with the help of its proboscis. Okay, proboscis nothing but it is somewhat trunk-like structure which is present in front of the mouth for the butterfly. That is called as proboscis in the butterflies. Okay. So here you can see the picture of butterfly where the proboscis is almost, if this is a mouth of butterfly, so that proboscis is actually seen in this way, like a elephant trunk. Okay. So by this trunk, the butterfly is taking the nutrition or food into its body. That is called as ingestion. The ingestion is with the help of proboscis in the butterfly. And the next is human. So here you can see a small example, simple example. The human is using the hand for eating the apple. And the another example is, as I told you, frog that is using its tongue. Okay, that is using its tongue for the ingestion of the food. The second type of process of step of nutrition. Second step is digestion, where the process of breaking down complex food into the simpler substances. Digestion means it is very simple thing where the food is broken down into the larger substance to the smaller particles or else smaller substances. That is called as digestion. Okay. Here the digestion can be mechanical or else chemical. Whereas mechanical means we can physically feel that and we can see that. So mechanically it is occurring in the mouth where the chewing purpose. So the chewing mechanism, that is mechanical way of digestion. And the another one is chemical way of digestion. Here both the mechanical and the chemical way of digestion is occurring, but the mechanical way of digestion is occurring in the mouth, that is chewing process. Whereas the chemical type of process, chemical type of digestion is occurring, that is what breakdown of the food with the help of enzymes. It may be any enzymes, amylase enzymes or else lipase enzyme. It may be anything in the human being. Okay, so here the digestion occurs in both the mechanical as well as chemical way of digestion in the human being. Here there are two types of digestions. Let us see which are those. So intracellular digestion and the extracellular digestion. What is nothing but intracellular digestion? So intracellular digestion actually takes place inside the cell. Inside the cell. If this is a cell with the nucleus and other organelles, so if the digestion occurs inside the cell, then it is called as intracellular. Okay. If the digestion occurs extracellular, if these are the number of cells, wait, I'll just clear it. If these are the number of cells present in the human body, so actually the extracellular digestion means it is not occurring inside the cell, it is actually occurring outside the cell. So extra means external, outside. Okay, if the digestion occurs outside the cell, then it is called as extracellular digestion. If it is occurring inside the cell, then it is called as intracellular digestion. So the intracellular digestion, the best example is amoeba. And the amoeba is actually irregular in shape, and it actually takes the process of digestion with the help of pseudopodia. Okay, and the extracellular, as I told you, it occurs in outside the cell and in the digestive system. And the best example is human and the cow, which is given for you in the NCERT class 7th book. So here you can see a picture of human digestive system and amoeba digestion. Okay, amoeba picture you can see here only, there is a digestion too. I'll just go through it once. So what are the parts present in the human digestive system? First, let us overview. Okay, here there is a mouth, salivary glands present inside the mouth, and esophagus, stomach. With the stomach there is also presence of liver, gallbladder, pancreas, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, appendix, and the last part, that is anus, which helps to put out the waste, undigested or else waste particles from the human digestive system. So this is what human digestive system diagram, just it is a diagram you can see here. And the second type of digestive system, that is intracellular digestive system, the best example as I told you is amoeba. Right, so here is the amoeba. Let us see their parts. Okay, so this is a pseudopodia. Okay, so pseudopod, you can also tell it as pseudopodia or else pseudopod. The arm-like structure here you can observe, right? This, and these are the pseudopodia. Okay, so this actually helps for the digestion of the food and for the grabbing the food. And the next part is nucleus, and the next one is food vacuole is also seen here, and the crystals, small granule-like structures, that is called as crystals, and plasma membrane, contractile vacuole, and the cytoplasm, endoplasm, ectoplasm. Let us go to the next one. So the third step of this is absorption. So here you can see in the absorption that actually occurs in the small intestine. Okay, let us see that. The process where the digested food is absorbed into the bloodstream from the small intestine. Sorry, the sentence has been came here. So the absorption mainly occurs, as I told you, that occurs in the small intestine with the help of bloodstream, right? So here you can observe one of the picture I have given here. The small intestine consists of somewhat air-like structures. Here, can you observe this? Hair-like structures, somewhat bulged, right? So these are called as villi. Okay, these are called as villi with the presence of blood vessels, where after the digestion that occurred in the small intestine, those digested food nutrition is taken or else absorbed with the help of blood vessels in these villi, okay, and later it is transmitted throughout the body, okay. So these are the hair like structures which is seen inner surface towards the intestine, small intestine. The fourth step is assimilation. Assimilation. What is nothing but assimilation? The absorbed nutrition are transported to different body parts and used for energy, growth and repair. So assimilation nothing but simple, where in the third step what you see in that the villi that is helping for the absorption purpose, absorption of the nutrition with the help of blood vessels. So that after the absorption it has to be transferred to the different parts of the body, right? So that is called as assimilation. So here, why it has to be transferred to the different parts of the body? Because it has to get the energy, growth and repair purpose, right? For the cells and tissues and etc. So for that purpose, so this is called as assimilation. And the last step is egestion. Egestion nothing but the removal of the unwanted or as undigested waste food substances from the body. That is simply called as egestion. Okay, this is actually takes place in the rectum and the anus, which are the end parts of the digestive system. Okay, so in human this happens through the anus. Actually you can see at the end, right, in this way. Before this there is a large intestine in this way, right? So this is a large intestine. Okay, one second. Next let us move on to the main part, that is digestion in the human. So the human digestive system consists of alimentary canal and the digestive glands. And in alimentary canal nothing but it is a digestive tract what is started from the mouth, from the buccal cavity until the anus. So that canal like structure inside, that is called as alimentary canal. And digestive glands, there is presence of digestive glands in the alimentary canal for the human digestive system. So let us see the parts of the human digestive system one by one. So here there is the first part is mouth and the buccal cavity. The main difference between the mouth and the buccal cavity is where the mouth that is actually seen outside. Externally we can see it. But buccal cavity which is present inside the mouth. If we open the mouth we can see number of parts inside the mouth. Those complete compartment is called as buccal cavity. Where in that buccal cavity there is a presence of teeth, tongue, etc. Right, so here digestion begins in the mouth. First the digestion begins with the help of mouth, and the teeth help for the mechanical digestion. As I told you, mechanical digestion first it occurs in the mouth, and later the chemical digestion later takes place in the other parts of the digestive system. The teeth helps for the mechanical digestion for grinding purpose. Okay, and here the saliva contains some of the enzymes called as salivary amylase, which breaks down the starch, carbohydrates. Okay, starch nothing but it involves in the carbohydrate, where the amylase, salivary amylase, which is secreted in the mouth or else buccal cavity with the help of saliva, that is salivary amylase enzyme that can break down the carbohydrates. Okay, this is an important question. In the digestive system, the first part where the carbohydrate is digested, they will ask the question. So the answer is mouth. With the help of which enzyme? That is salivary amylase. Next, the second part is esophagus. So some of them type this esophagus as starting letter O. It can also start with the O or else directly from the E. Actually O is silent. So this esophagus, it is simply called as food pipe. Okay, it is also called as food pipe, where the food flows from the mouth into the stomach, where this is at the center of the mouth and the stomach. The transport of the food from the mouth to the stomach through the peristalsis, the part of the esophagus, the one of the part of the esophagus that is called as peristalsis. Okay, so here the transport of the food from mouth to the stomach is actually transported with the help of this food pipe itself. The third part is stomach. So here the secretion of gastric juices occurs, which contains the gastric juices, for example HCl. Okay, the best and almost it is very important one is HCl and the pepsin and mucus. So here in the stomach there is a secretion of some of the gastric juices like HCl, hydrochloric acid, pepsin and the mucus. Okay, Next step is small intestine. So the longest part in the digestive system is small intestine. Keep that in mind, it is very important. Where most of the digestion of proteins and the other type of digestion, biomolecule digestion, and also the absorption occurs here in the small intestine. The longest part in the digestive system is actually, as I told you now, that is small intestine, and the main digestion and the absorption occurs in this part itself. It plays a very important role in the complete digestive system. Here, here the pancreas and the liver releases the digestive juices, okay, which later helps for the actually pancreas. It releases the insulin too. It also plays an important role to maintain the blood sugar level, right? And it also helps in the digestion purpose. And the liver actually produces the bile, and it is stored in the gallbladder for the digestion of the fat content, okay. And some of the proteins are digested in the stomach with the help of pepsin, okay. Okay, let us see the next part, that is large intestine. So the large intestine, it actually absorbs the water and forms the solid waste. So here it absorbs all the water content from the digested food, and it separates the solid waste, okay. The solid waste, it is also called as feces. And the last part, that is called as anus. Before this anus, there is also an part called as rectum. After the rectum, this anus is the last part of the digestive system, which helps for the removal of the undigested food or else undigested waste from the body. Actually, undigested waste is normally it will not be called as a food. Let us tell it as a waste itself. So removal of the undigested waste from the body is done by the part called as anus. So this is a view or else picture image of the human digestive system, what you are seeing on the screen. So here you can observe the parts of the human digestive system. Here this is the mouth, the first part where you can take the ingestion of the food. The first part of the digestive system is food, whereas inside the mouth there is a presence of buccal cavity, where there is a presence of some of the salivary glands which secretes the amylase enzyme, where that amylase enzyme helps for the digestion of the carbohydrates. Later, after the mouth, there is another part called as esophagus, as I told you already. And the next is liver, gallbladder, stomach, pancreas, large intestine, small intestine, appendix, rectum, and the last part, that is anus. The diagram is very important for the final exam time and for the tests and exams. So just practice this diagram. Better instead of this, you can practice the diagram what I showed you previously. So this is very good, and this is one of the diagram which is important for your exam purpose. Okay, practice this amoeba diagram and the human digestive system diagram for your exams. Thank you. Remaining portion I'll be continuing in the next class.